vaccination more easily than before. As of today, Giant Eagle will begin administering vaccinations on a walk-in basis with no appointment scheduled. Officials for the grocery chain say patients need to be 18 and older and need to bring a valid ID along with their medical insurance information. Officials continuing to investigate the death of William Kitchen, an inmate at SCI Green. Greene County Register reporting 55-year-old Kitchen was found unresponsive in his cell the morning of April 24th, according to prison officials. Prison employees were conducting security rounds when they discovered Kitchen, who was pronounced dead by emergency medical services personnel. The official cause of death will be determined by the Greene County Coroner's Office. The state police are investigating. Kitchen was serving a sentence of 70 to 35 years for involuntary deviant sexual intercourse out of Allegheny County, according to prison officials. He was imprisoned in 1998 and has been at SCI Green since 2014. WMBS News Time is 4:08. Sports and weather next.
The weather is warming up, so get your golf game in shape at Duck Hollow Golf Club this spring. There's still time to get your 2021 golf membership. Just call them up at 724-439-3150 or visit the Pro Shop for details. The Pro Shop is open in the spring from 7:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. and openings are still available for golf leagues and outings. But hurry, dates are filling up quickly. Duck Hollow Golf Club is located at 374 Duck Hollow Road in Uniontown, and before or after your round, make sure to stop by Bogey's Restaurant at Duck Hollow Golf Club for a bite to eat. Bogey's has dine-in or takeout available. Check out the Duck Hollow Facebook page for spring hours and daily specials at Bogey's, and let them do the cooking for you. For tea times at Duck Hollow or takeout and dining reservations at Bogey's, call 724-439-3150. That's 724-439-3150 for Duck Hollow Golf Club and Bogey's Restaurant. They'd love to see you out this season.
WMBS News Time is 4:09. In sports, the Pirates begin a set with the Cincinnati Reds tonight at PNC Park. Mitch Keller will be starting for the Bucks. He is 2-3 on the season and a 6.29 ERA. We'll have that game for you with the pregame show at 6:10 and the first pitch scheduled for 6:35. That is tonight on WMBS. Penguins lock up the East Division over the weekend. Now they will putting the postseason tickets on sale for the first two games at home. They'll be on sale this Wednesday, although the Penguins do not know who their opponent will be or when the games will be played. WMBS time is 4:10. The weather watch, it's going to be partly cloudy early tonight, then mostly cloudy with lows of 38, partly sunny tomorrow with a high of 55, mainly clear tomorrow night with frost developing after midnight, a low of 32. Morning frost Wednesday, then mostly sunny with a high of 60, partly cloudy Thursday and a high of 65, partly sunny with a chance of showers Friday and a high of 62, then a little warmer as we head into the weekend. It's partly cloudy and 56, and time now for your C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day and the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show. It's high school baseball next on your local station, WMBS.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Duck Hollow Golf Club and Bogey's Restaurant. Call 724-439-3150 for tea times or restaurant information today.
It's time for another C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day coverage of high school baseball here on WMBS and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, being brought to you by Mamaruka's Pizza Shop, the Uniontown Hospital, Ted Sova and Son Auto and Fender Repair, Patrick Livingston for North Union Township Supervisor, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, Jimmy Johns in Uniontown, Ford of Uniontown, Shop and Save in Uniontown, M&R Transit, Potter's Bar and Grill, System Pre-Owned, the Radcliffe Law Firm, Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, NovaCare Rehabilitation, Stewart Collision, the C. Harper Auto Group, South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer, General Dentist Dr. Wietek, Russ Blaho, your local Allstate Insurance Agent, North Union Township Supervisor Curtis Matthews, Peachin's Pharmacy inside the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market, Centers for Rehab Services and Physical Therapist Jim Burns, Casey Sports Cafe, and by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Now stay tuned for the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show here on WMBS and on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
From Landman Field here at Laurel Highlands High School, it's time for high school baseball action here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live. This afternoon, the Laurel Highlands Mustangs 10-4 overall, 7-3 out of Section 3 and 4A play. Host the Uniontown Red Raiders. The Red Raiders 3-9 overall, 2-6 in conference play. Brian Morozak alongside Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay behind the camera, and Nick Barczyk back inside our WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios. Our pregame show being brought to you by the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes. They'll get you ready for the game. They're located at 217 West Main Street in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-9812 for the Sprouse Insurance Group. And Gary, finally ready to play some high school baseball here today after a wet week last week. Laurel Highlands and Uniontown expecting a busy week of baseball this week. This is the first time Uniontown has played since April the 27th. The Mustangs managed to get a doubleheader in, and they swept a doubleheader over Elizabeth Forward last Thursday.
And that was a great sweep of Elizabeth Forward, put the Mustangs back into a nicer place in the conference as far as seeding for the playoffs coming up, and they were very grateful to get that sweep. But as you said, Brian, it's been a crazy 2 weeks of high school baseball, and I thought my schedule was crazy, but yours is much worse.
Yes, and actually this game's been changed a couple of times. We thought it was going to start at 4, then got pushed up to 3:30. Now a 4:30 start this afternoon, and certainly a busy weekend for Uniontown. This will be the first of 4 straight conference games this week for the Red Raiders. Uniontown still mathematically alive for a playoff spot, but they've lost 6 straight entering this game here this afternoon, Gary, so they're trying to regain some form.
And a lot of those games have been very close, and some dropped situations late in the games by Uniontown Red Raiders has their coach a little baffled. But they've played some good baseball throughout the entire season this year, and just have had some bad breaks that have resulted in some very close losses.
You would have thought West Mifflin would be at the top of the conference right now. The Titans sitting at 8-1. They'll have 3 games remaining this week. The Mustangs sitting at 7-3. Bell Vernon at 5-3. They got swept by West Mifflin last week. Ringgold at 3-5. They hold down the final playoff spot, just a game lead over Uniontown, and the Rams and Red Raiders will meet twice later on this week, Wednesday at Bailey Park and Thursday at Ringgold, so still an opportunity for Uniontown to make up some ground in the section standings. Elizabeth Ford at 3-6, Greensburg-Salem at 3-7. They're all mathematically alive at this point of the season. Pitching matchup here today, Joe Chambers to start for Laurel Highlands. Joe coming off of 5 shutout innings of ball in game 1 of a doubleheader this past Thursday against Elizabeth Forward. Uniontown will counter with Christian Thomas's 5th start of the season, was only factored in 1 decision so far this year. Stay tuned. Our Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show continues. We'll talk to Laurel Highlands assistant coach Mike Smith here on WMBS, the Trib Live High School Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Going on now with Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit charperchevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply. While supplies last. Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprouse Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sproulesinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Freaky fast, freaky good. Order online at jimmyjohns.com or call 724-437-6800 for delivery or curbside pickup. Jimmy John's, next to Walnut Hill. Shop and save.
WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, in cooperation with the Fayette County Vaccine Task Force, has established a phone number for direct vaccine scheduling. Fayette County residents that would like or need a vaccine can now call 724-430-3900 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Residents will be scheduled at clinics offered by providers across the county, including clinics operated by WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital. When the call center is closed, residents are encouraged to visit FayetteCountyPA.org to complete individual registration. Registrations will be sent to a call bank, and calls will be returned within 72 hours. Again, to schedule your COVID-19 vaccine, call 724-430-3900. That's 724-430-3900 between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Monday through Friday, or visit FayetteCountyPA.org to complete registration. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital COVID-19 vaccine clinic is located inside the Uniontown Mall inside the former Burlington Coat Factory. WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, the new us, here for you.
On Election Day, vote for experience. Re-elect Curtis Matthews, North Union Township Supervisor. Kurt will continue to vote no to increase your taxes in North Union. Kurt will continue to secure funding for North Union Township to improve infrastructure and continue developing and improving recreation areas and expanding the Sheepskin Trail. Kurt Matthews will continue to work as a team with his fellow supervisors and for all residents of North Union Township, Democrat or Republican. On Election Day, Curtis Matthews would appreciate your vote and ask for your write-in vote.
Paid for by the Friends to re-elect Curtis Matthews, North Union Township Supervisor.
High school baseball action on WMBS this afternoon. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs hosting the Uniontown Red Raiders, being joined by Laurel Highlands assistant coach Mike Smith, as head coach Scott DeBerry not available for the game today. And Smitty, 2 big wins for your Mustangs last week over Elizabeth Forward. You locked up a playoff spot. Now you're just fighting for playoff positioning with 2 conference games remaining today and tomorrow against Uniontown.
Yeah, no doubt. We were glad to get those 2 games in. Everybody's sort of backed up right now. That's why I'm trying to get today's game in. But definitely taking 2 from Elizabeth Forward, putting us in the playoffs. Hopefully we're peaking at the right time, get hot, at the right time going in.
I think West Mifflin certainly surprised a lot of folks being at the top of the conference at this juncture of the season. In fact, their only loss came against you earlier on this season.
I think the conference as a whole is pretty even. I mean, if you look at the record, and you're right, nobody had West Mifflin. They were under the radar. We were under the radar. I think anything can happen at any time. Yeah, we were glad to get a win off of them when we did. And I think, like I said, every team, it's up in the air, and especially in our section, so you don't know.
And you look at your opponent today, Uniontown, fighting for their playoff lives right now. The Red Raiders 4 conference games remaining, and they certainly need these 2 games against your Mustangs today and tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. And Uniontown, Kenny does a great job, and they're going to come in and play hard. It doesn't matter what the records are in the Uniontown Laurel Highlands game in any sport. We're gonna have to play our best. And you're right, Uniontown's fighting. They gotta win 3 out of 4 this week, and I'm sure they'd like to take 4 out of 4. And they have 4 games in a row, but we're gonna do our best, hopefully, to take 2 from them, and hopefully it'll give us a better seed in the playoffs.
And with 12 teams getting in, I'm sure you'd like to get one of those top 4 seeds in a first-round playoff bye.
That would be nice. But, sometimes in the past we've had buys, and it seemed like it hurt us. And a couple years ago we didn't have a bye, and we went to the championship. So we're just going to, do whatever, take whatever game they give us and play hard from there.
What are your pitching plans for today?
We're going to go with Joe Chambers, starting on the mound. Hopefully, he can take us through the game. And if not, we'll do what we got to do.
And you're certainly staying busy, actually working on the field right now. You'll be the acting head coach today with Scott DeBerry being unavailable. We certainly send Coach DeBerry our best.
Yeah, Scott's he's under the weather, but he's prepared this team. It doesn't really matter who coaches them. He's done such a great job here, and those kids know, what he expects, and there'll be no change.
Coach, we appreciate your time. We'll see you out there today.
All right, Brian. Thanks a lot.
That's Laurel Highlands acting head coach and assistant athletic director Mike Smith. Stay tuned. We'll set the batting lineup for Uniontown on the defense for Laurel Highlands when the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show continues here on WMBS, the Triple I High School Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Does your car sound like it's saying, "Trade me in, trade me in," every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchase your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of
state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in! Trade me in!" Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
Hello, this is former Fayette County Treasurer Robert F. Bobby Danko. I am wholeheartedly supporting Deb Apicella, who is running for Fayette County Treasurer in the upcoming election. I hired Deb and she worked her way through the ranks in the Treasurer's office. She gained over 15 years' experience and has been Fayette County Chief Deputy Treasurer for the past 8 years. Deb is doing an outstanding job. Her excellent work ethics has shown she does whatever is necessary to keep the office running efficiently, effectively, and customer-friendly. Deb Apicella's years of experience has proven she is trustworthy and dedicated to the taxpayers of Fayette County. Your vote and support for Deb will ensure the Treasurer's office will continue to operate smoothly and she will continue to be a full-time, hard-working Fayette County Treasurer. We need to keep Deb Apicella in the Treasurer's office and make her our next Fayette County Treasurer.
Paid for by the candidate.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Brian Morozak and Gary Frankhauser back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. The Uniontown Red Raiders to bat first here in the top half of the first inning. Here's Gary with their lineup.
Thanks, Brian. Leading off for the Uniontown Red Raiders, number 21, Christian Thomas. He'll be on the mound for the Red Raiders, batting second and catching. Hunter Chukchik, he's wearing number 2, and he will be playing shortstop. Correction on that. Number 19, Eric Odom is in the third spot. He plays right field. Batting fourth, number 40, Colt Sparks. He'll be behind the plate catching. Number 24, Tanner Uphold will be playing left field, batting in the fifth spot. In the sixth spot, number 50, Jack White. He's at first base. Number 1, Andrew Maher. He'll be playing center field and batting seventh. Number 33, Aiden Martin is a designated hitter in the 8th spot. And in the 9th spot, number 10, Mason Kuhn at second base.
Defensively for Laurel Highlands, they'll have Carson D'Amico out in left, Caden Early in center, and Jace Hampy in right. Around the horn, it's Braden McKnight at third, Nick Kumar playing short, Ty Sankovic playing second, Zach Koffler playing first, catching, Alex McLean in pitching. Joe Chambers will be Joe's 8th appearance on the season, enters with a 4-1 record, 3.08 ERA. He's worked 20 2/3 innings, struck out 28, walked 9, given up 17 hits, 10 runs, and only 8 of them earned. And Gary, we mentioned earlier during the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show, Joe coming off a very impressive performance, pitched game 1 of a doubleheader here at home last Thursday against Elizabeth Ford and pitched 5 shutout innings.
That's for sure. And he has shown a multiple amount of pitches, especially going to that curveball deep into in the account, a very sharp breaking curveball that we've seen throughout the season. And it will be interesting to see if he can control those pitches here today and limit the walks.
They did a great job here, Gary, as well, getting this field ready and playable here today. I had an opportunity to drive by the school this morning. The field did not look good, but as the day went on, Mike Smith, assistant athletic director, some of the maintenance staff were out here working on the field, and they got it playable. It actually looks pretty good.
They used their year's supply of quick dry.
They might have. And again, these two teams will play tomorrow, 4 o'clock start down at Bailey Park. And we mentioned for the Red Raiders of Uniontown, they really need to win at least 3 of 4 here down the stretch to have an opportunity to make the WPIAL playoffs. And they might need some help in the process. The Mustangs currently sit in second place in the conference at 7-3. West Mifflin at 8-1. The Titans still have 3 games remaining. Again, the only 2 games the Mustangs have to play are against Uniontown as far as conference games are concerned, Monday and Tuesday. So still an outside chance, just depending on what happens with the Titans. They have a 2-game series against Ringgold, which will take place earlier on in the week, Monday and Tuesday, and then they'll play Elizabeth Forward on Wednesday. So really anything can happen there, Gary, because Ringgold needs to win some games to make the playoffs, so they're going to be playing hard as well, and you get a couple of losses from West Mifflin and a couple of wins from Laurel Highlands, the Mustangs can still find themselves section co-champs.
Absolutely, and you need to look no farther than that game that the Mustangs dropped to Greensburg-Salem down there to see that anything could happen in this section. Greensburg-Salem coming in with just 2 wins, facing the ace for Laurel Highlands, and coming up with a huge win, 12-11 on that day. So, as you can see, anything can happen in these high school baseball games.
You mentioned some of the close calls that Uniontown had. The Red Raiders could have actually really helped out the Mustangs a couple of weeks ago. They took a 6-1 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning at West Mifflin, committed 3 errors in that bottom of the 7th inning, and ended up losing 7-6. Really was a heartbreaker for head coach Kenny Musco and his staff.
Absolutely, and there you have the first place team in the section facing a loss in the last inning. Easily could have been a loss at the hands of the Red Raiders, and just didn't happen that way. But once again, it shows you that anything can happen in high school baseball, and especially with these young guys facing a little bit of pressure, looking for places in the WPIAL playoffs and trying to finish up their high school season this year.
And Uniontown actually had 3 other close call losses as well. Fell 4-2 back on March 29th against Bell Vernon. That was a game they could have won. But the other 2 games, they really circled, Gary. The 2 against Elizabeth Forward, they were scoreless with the Warriors through 9 innings down at Wiley Field in Elizabeth back on April the 13th. They put 2 runs on the scoreboard in the top of the 10th, but gave up 3 in the bottom of the 10th, including a controversial call at home plate, which ended up being the game-winning run for the Warriors. And then the next day when they met at Bailey Park, Uniontown jumped on Elizabeth Forward early. 2 runs in the in the bottom of the first inning. The Warriors chipped away and ended up winning 3-2. So 2 one-run losses against Elizabeth Forward. This Uniontown team could very easily be above 500 at this point of the season. We're back with the first pitch right after this. Laurel Highlands hosting Uniontown here on WMBS, the Triple M High School Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
I'm attorney Bill Martin of Radcliffe Law, and I've handled all sorts of workplace accident cases over the past 10 years. When you're hurt at work, your employer's main goal is to get you back to work, but you may not be physically ready to return. If you find yourself in a similar situation, call our workers' compensation team at Radcliffe Law at 724-439-3939. We'll meet with you and answer your questions at no cost. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer wishes the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs this season and in the playoffs. During these uncertain times, a lot of hard work goes into a successful season, and that includes the cooperation of players, coaches, and their families. South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer commends all of those whose hard work has gone into making this a successful season. Like our local teams, Robert Schiffbauer is working hard to make life better for the residents of South Union Township. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs from South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Elect Patrick Livingston for your next North Union Township Supervisor. I was born, raised, and currently reside in North Union Township. I have the desire, skills, and experience to help North Union Township continue to thrive. I hold a valid commercial driver's license and the ability to operate equipment necessary to maintain and benefit township residents. My ability to work well with others to ensure a job well done bodes well for the township's success. I am asking for your support in the upcoming election.
Paid for by the candidate.
Brian Rozak, Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, just about set to go. The Mustangs in their home whites, red numbers, blue caps. Uniontown in the away maroons, white numbers, white pants. Game time temperature 59 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. But, Gary, the weather forecast actually looks pretty good for the rest of this week.
At least it's dry. It may not be the heat that you're looking for here at this point in May, but they'll take dry every time.
And actually, our last broadcast all the way back on April the 30th, you missed it, Gary. Tony and I really froze up there at Greater Latrobe. We had temperatures hovering around 40 degrees that day and about a 40-mile-an-hour headwind in our face.
At night.
At night, correct. So you picked a good game not to be there. I know Tony was a little upset that you decided not to show up that day.
Well, you know, he can handle it.
And we're all set to go here against Christian Thomas, Hunter Chukchek, and Eric Odom for the Red Raiders here in the top half of the first inning. Thomas, the sophomore pitcher for Uniontown, coming in with a .275 average and 7 RBIs. Again, we mentioned the Red Raiders needing to win at least 3 of 4 this week. 2 against Laurel Highlands, then 2 against Ringgold. They'll host the Rams on Wednesday and travel to Ringgold on Thursday. Laurel Highlands only 2 conference games remaining. In fact, Laurel Highlands and Greensburg-Salem, the only 2 teams in the conference, they only have 2 conference games to play this week. So they'll look to improve their playoff seeding. They can get a couple of wins here against the Red Raiders and head into the WPIAL playoffs. If you remember back, though, Gary, 2 years ago, when Laurel Highlands, of course, had that run to a WPIAL championship game, the Mustangs actually lost 4 of 6 entering the WPIAL playoffs. They just got hot at the right time in the postseason.
You're exactly right, and that's what it takes. You just have to hit your stride.
Chambers' first pitch, and therefore a strike to Christian Thomas.
You mentioned earlier what an outstanding job that they did to get this field ready. Chambers
now will get set to wind and fire the 0-1 here to Christian Thomas. Breaking ball misses low and outside, even up the count at 1-1. And really hard to believe, Gary, you look at the field, that we had so much rain here over the last week, especially yesterday.
And especially with very little sun.
Correct. 1-1 pitch. Fastball there from Chambers. Swing and a miss from Thomas. Just like that, the count moves to 1-2. Laurel Highlands was hoping to play Thomas Jefferson here at home on Wednesday, and that game's been postponed. The Mustangs looking for a Senior Day opponent coming up on Wednesday. That one fouled back by Thomas. Count remains at 1-2. The Mustangs will wrap up the regular season Thursday down at German Masontown Park against Albert Gallatin. The Colonials making the move from Smithfield, where they've played the last couple of seasons, back down to the German Masontown Park area for the 2021 campaign. Another 1-2 breaking ball from Joey Chambers and a punch out of Christian Thomas. So strikeout number 29 this season for Joey Chambers, and a good start for the Mustangs here in the top half of the first inning.
There's that curveball we talked about, just froze Thomas at the plate and broke right over the heart of the plate for that strikeout.
Now the junior shortstop Hunter Chukchek coming to the plate here for Uniontown. Chukchek, good average, batting .405 with 4 RBIs, and Chambers with a breaking ball there and for a strike. 0-1 to Hunter Chukchek. Good to see Chambers starting to get sharp, Gary, with the playoffs coming up next week. The Mustangs have been searching for a solid number 2 in their rotation. They might have found it here with Joey Chambers. Comes back with a nice fastball, and just like that, Chukchek behind 0-2.
And we knew all along he had a great arm, and he's shown increased velocity throughout the year.
Now the 0-2, Chambers to Chukchek, fastball swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. And Joey Chambers looking sharp. Now Eric Odom coming to the plate. Odom, the junior right fielder, batting .308 with 5 RBIs. And the Red Raiders enter this game on a 6-game losing streak. 3-9 overall, 2-6 in the conference. Another fastball from Chambers, swing and a miss from Odom, and they count at 0-1.
Odom a little behind on that one. You might want to have the Mustang defense shift around a little bit to the right side.
I wonder how much rust on the bats of Uniontown. They have not played a game since April 27th. And that pitch a little low, evens things up at 1-1. We mentioned the Mustangs did get a doubleheader in, a doubleheader sweep of Elizabeth Ford last Thursday, and they also had a busy week the week prior, including playing on April 30th, a come-from-behind win against Greater Latrobe. Another swing and a miss there from Eric Odom, and just like that, he's behind 1-2.
With the weather the way it was, you probably don't get much practice in either.
No. A lot of time being put in either in the gym or on the football field. 1-2 back with a fastball, just missed.
Wow.
Or even at 2-2.
Joe wanted that one. Looked like it was just on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, didn't miss by much. Now Joe will wind and fire the 2-2 now to Eric Odom. Comes back with a fastball, and there's the punch out. So Chambers strikes out the side here in the top half of the first inning. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Uniontown and Laurel Highlands here on the C.R. Parano Group High School Sports Day.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 57th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva & Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva & Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva & Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 57 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
Brian Moroza, Gary Frankhauser back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. Mustangs coming to bat. Here's Gary with their batting lineup today.
Thanks, Brian. Again, leading off, number 14, Caden Early. He plays center field. Number 1, the pitcher, Joe Chambers, in that second spot. Nick Kumar playing shortstop, wears number 16. Cleanup, number 18, Alex McLean. He's the catcher. Number 22, Braden O'Brien is the designated hitter in that fifth spot. Zach Koffler playing first base is next. Behind him is Carson D'Amico. Then we have Ty Sankovic, and follow that up with Braden McKnight in the ninth spot.
Defensively for Uniontown, we'll have Tanner Uphold in left, Andrew Maher in center, and Eric Odom in right. Around the horn, it's Chaz Lambie playing third, Hunter Chuckcheck playing short, Mason Kuhn playing second, Jack White playing first, Christian Thomas pitching, and Colt Sparks catching. And the first pitch to Caden Early is popped up in foul territory, and Caden will be behind 0-1. Early, the junior center fielder, entering with a .394 average and 7 RBIs so far this season.
Scattered a few of the fans up there by the concession stand.
I count 0-1 now. Thomas to Early. And Christian will wind and fire. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, and Caden sends it high in the air in the left field. Tanner Uphold getting under it, and he'll make the grab for the first out of the inning. And I'll bring up Joey Chambers. Christian Thomas, this is his 5th start of the season, 0-1 record. Has given up 18 hits, 15 runs, only 7 of them earned. Struck out 18, walked 9. Has worked 24 innings and a pretty impressive 2.04 ERA. But again, it's really only factored in 1 decision for Uniontown so far this season. It just kind of shows the way some of these games have gone late for the Red Raiders. And Thomas's first pitch misses low to Joe Chambers, the junior pitcher for Laurel Highlands, coming in with a .290 average and 11 RBIs.
It's May the 10th, Brian. Is that the date?
Yes, it is.
Look at the blankets out.
Yes, it is still chilly. Hopefully it warms up a little bit later in the week. Nice breaking ball there. Evens up the count at 1-1 here from Thomas to Chambers. And had an opportunity with the mayor of Hopwood, Tony Hanul, on Saturday to play in the South Union Township Rec Center golf outing. We were pretty chilly on Saturday afternoon as well, Gary, with temperatures in the low 50s on Saturday. Plenty of wind. I think we had some hail at one point.
That's always fun to play in.
Yes. Had a good time supporting a great cause, and they raised over $70,000 for the new rec center in South Union Township. 1-1 pitch misses low and outside. Count now 2-1 from Christian Thomas to Joe Chambers. 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Laurel Highlands and Uniontown scoreless. Now Thomas getting set here with the 1-1 to Joe Chambers. Breaking ball, and Joey fouls it off.
Nice pitch there by Thomas. Pulled the string on that one. A little change-up curve. Had Chambers out in front. Joe lucky to get a piece of that one.
Correction takes us to 2-2. Nick Kumar due up next behind Joe Chambers. Mustangs had a couple of home runs during that doubleheader against Elizabeth Forward. One by Zach Koffler, another by Nick Kumar. As the bat's starting to heat up at the right time of the season. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Chambers goes down. And 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning.
Another nice pitch there by Christian Thomas.
Number 16.
Just painting that outside corner, and Joe just could not reach out and get it. So good start for Thomas, also for the Red Raiders on the mound.
Now Nick Kumar, the senior shortstop, coming to the plate, batting .486. Now 2 homers for Nick. Also homered up at Greater Latrobe A week ago Friday, 15 RBIs for Nick.
Buddy Mara, first base umpire down here in front of us.
Of course, his son Santino played at Laurel Highlands. Was a junior 2 years ago, would have been a senior last year. First pitch here to Nick, misses outside for ball one. Mustangs with Joe LaPresta coaching first and Mike Smith coaching third here today. And we send our best to Laurel Highlands head coach Scott DeBerry under the weather and not here today. Big swing and a miss there from Nick Kumar off a nice breaking pitch from Christian Thomas.
Once again, that breaking pitch has a vast difference in speed, and the Mustangs needing to adjust to that changeup.
Evens up the count at 1-1. And these two teams will meet tomorrow at Bailey Park, 4 o'clock start. On the earth, an abbreviated Sprouse Insurance Group pregame show at 3:55 tomorrow. Low pitch there to Nick. Count now moves to 2-1. Also have a simulcast on the South Union Township Sports Network and, of course, up on Facebook Live. Hoping to have a game for you on Wednesday. Again, after tomorrow, rest of the week kind of up in the air with the Mustangs were scheduled to have a senior day game here against Thomas Jefferson on Wednesday, and the Jags canceled early on this afternoon.
Maybe we could put an alumni team together to play the Mustangs.
Just to have something to celebrate senior day. Nice fastball there.
Mr. Kumar up here in the booth shaking his head no, he's not going out there.
That pitch was in there for a strike, and now we're even at 2-2. As the Red Raiders defensively looking for a 1-2-3 bottom half of the first inning. Now Thomas will wind and fire the 2-2 breaking ball, and Nick stays alive, fouling it off. Count remains at 2-2. You'll have at least 12 teams in the WPIAL playoffs in 4A. Could have more if you have some fourth place ties where teams split the season series. So you have the potential, if you're a top 4 seed, to maybe get a first round bye. Another 2-2 fastball missed, and we're full at 3-2.
It's a fun time, the WPIAL playoffs. A lot of pressure, though.
For sure. One game series, yeah, one and done.
Just like the NCAA March Madness.
Payoff pitch now to Nick. Breaking ball, and Nick pops this one up. In foul territory, Red Raiders unable to make a play on it. Goes right by the Mustang dugout. So we stay full of 3-2.
So no matter where you're seated, even if you get that bye, you come into one game series, as you said, Brian, and you hit a hot pitcher or hot bats on the other side, and anything could happen.
And usually the way they've scheduled them, at least over the last couple of years, is you'll have a back-to-back situation, probably between the quarterfinal round and the semifinal round, just to make sure that all teams have to use multiple starting pitchers. Now the 3-2 pitch hit on the ground. It was knocked down by Lambie, the third baseman. Might have been a cleaner play for Chuck Check. Nonetheless, Kumar safe over at first.
Infield single there for Nick, as that was a tough play over at third base for Lambie.
Do you think Lambie just should have let Chuck Check feel that?
Well, it's an easier throw from the third baseman coming across, and the ball was very slow rolling. I doubt that Chuck Check would have been able to throw out Kumar regardless.
Now the catcher Alex McLean coming to the plate, batting .441 with 12 RBIs. Mustangs with a runner on, 2 outs, and a scoreless game here in the bottom of the first inning. Now Thomas working from the stretch. And a swing and a miss there from Alex McLean. When they chase into that one, Gary.
A little high above the letters. Fastball. His eyes lit up.
Count 0-1. Jack White playing first base for Uniontown today. No Tate Musco in the Red Raiders starting lineup. A little bit surprised not to see Tate out there. He's been a consistent starter for Uniontown all year. Count now even at 1-1.
Look for Kumar to take off here, try to get a runner in scoring position for McLean.
Mustangs have done a nice job with some 2-out rallies so far this year. One of the bugaboos has been getting guys picked off, and nice little move there from Thomas. Almost got Nick.
That was huge down at Bell Vernon.
Happened at Greensburg-Salem, too. Another check of Nick over at first. Again, back safely.
Get that lead out as far as you can. If you can dive back, you're still good.
Mentioned Buddy coaching the bases, I guess, with Santina no longer playing. He wants to stay busy, at least no longer playing in high school. Next pitch on the way, and this one popped up again in foul territory by Alex McLean.
Hanging in there, trying to keep things going here in the bottom of the first for the Mustangs.
Got now 1-2. Again, Kumar, the only hit of the game, reaching with an infield single. Our buddy Austin Douglas checking in. Hello, Austin. Thanks for watching here today on our Facebook Live feed.
Good move there by Thomas, stepping back as Nick had a huge lead over here at first. Nick has some really good speed for a big boy.
He does. Count at 1-2. Again, 2 outs. Alex McLean at the plate. Christian Thomas on the mound. 1-2 pitch on the way. Hard grounder to third. Good snag there from Lambie over to first to Jack White to retire McLean 5-3 for the third out of the inning. So the Mustangs strand Kumar ahead of the top of the second. Scoreless. Uniontown and Laurel Highlands here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Day.
General Dentist Dr. Edward L. Wietek Jr. treats children, teens, and adults of all ages. Dr. Wietek performs all phases of general dentistry, including crowns and bridges, partials, full dentures, comprehensive orthodontics, root canals, bonded white fillings, dental implants to replace missing teeth and to stabilize loose-fitting dentures, and comprehensive exams and cleanings. Dr. Wietek is also your place to go for full mouth reconstruction if you've put off going to the dentist for too long. Visit Dr. Wietek online at www.myuniontowndentist.com to view the Smile Gallery and see some of his patients' before and after photos. See what over 35 years of experience and a practice committed to learning the latest techniques can do for you or your family. Dr. Wietek's office is located on the National Pike, 1 mile west of the mall on Route 40. Call him up at 724-439-1616. That's 724-439-1616 for Dr. Edward L. Wietek, Jr.
Accidents can happen at any time. At Stewart Collision Service in Uniontown, we are here to repair your vehicle to pre-accident condition. Have dents? Stewart Collision Service does paintless dent repair. Need a touch-up or full body paint job? Our water-based paint system gives the best match for your color. So give us a call at 724-437-9381 or stop by 73 East Fayette Street for all your collision needs. We work with all insurances. Stewart Collision supports our local high school sports team and wish you the best this season. That's Stewart Collision Service, 73 East Fayette Street in Uniontown, 724-437-9381.
Welcome back to Landman Field here on the campus at Laurel Highlands, heading to the top of the second inning. Uniontown coming to bat with no score. Colt Sparks, Tanner Uphold, and Jack White due up for the Red Raiders.
Sparks, the junior catcher, batting .286 with 7 RBIs for Uniontown so far this year.
Joe Chambers striking out the side to start things. Here's a ground ball to short. Big hop for Kumar. Fires it over to Koffler for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out. You got to love that.
Yeah, aggressive hitting there from Sparks. And he's retired. And now Tanner Uphold will come to the plate. Batting .371 with 4 RBIs. Sophomore left fielder.
Also batting from the right side. Looking down to third base coach. That grass is really thick in the infield.
It is.
Might want to try to lay a few down if you're the Red Raiders, get things started, but looking at that curveball first pitch for a strike.
A product of a lot of moisture that fell over the last week.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Joe Chambers. Comes with the heat, and that's in there for a swing and a miss, strike 2.
Chambers looking very comfortable again on the mound for Laurel Highlands here today.
Mustangs shallow in right field and left, about medium depth in center. 0-2 offering from Joe Chambers. Here's the wind into pitch just outside, and look, that time like Tanner was shortening up the bunt with 2 strikes.
He's trying to maybe mix things up, show something different, but you don't see that too often, that's for sure.
1-2 pitch. The nod in the pitch. Another ground ball to short. Up with it is Kumar. Quick throw over to Koffler. Instant replay, second out.
Nick staying busy here in this top half of the second inning. So far, the Red Raiders have been retired in order.
Just 4 pitches that time.
Next, the first base.
Jack White, the first baseman, will step in.
And Joe only had to go 5 innings against Elizabeth Ford here at home. Game 1 of that doubleheader on Thursday. Mustangs with a 10-run win. So a shorter than normal outing for Joe. Mustangs, though, no problems with a 10-run win anytime.
Fastball in there for a strike, and so far, Joe having some pretty good control, getting ahead of the batters. 0-1 pitch, high and inside, as White ducking out of the way.
Of course, when you say he has good control, you get one
Absolutely.
a little high and inside like that. Happens every time.
It's a super guy, Jazz.
Yes.
1-1 from the windup. There's another big hopper, this time again to Kumar, on to Koffler for 3 straight outs, 6-3.
Wow.
That finishes the inning with just, 8 pitches? 8 pitches that time for Joe Chambers. He only had 13 in the first inning. We'll be back with the bottom of the second here on WMBS, Trib Live High School Sports Network, C. Harper Sports Night.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Looking for the highest quality products at the lowest prices? Shop and save on Walnut Hill in Uniontown has the widest selection of brands and the freshest offerings around. They specialize in your family's grocery needs. Save big and sign up for the Shop and Save Perks card to get money-saving benefits and discounts on gas. Shop and save. Walnut Hill Road, Uniontown, open 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. Working hard to offer you the best at Shop and Save because it's the just right thing to do.
Going on now with C. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply. What supplies last? Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Here we go with the bottom of the second for the Mustangs. Taking a first strike was Braden O'Brien. Brian Rozak, Gary Frankhauser, Jerry DePay on the camera. WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
And so Brian, Koffler, and D'Amico for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the second.
There's a ground ball towards second. Up with it and on to first for the out. Mason Kuhn on to Jack White for the first out of the inning for the Red Raiders on defense.
That was Braden O'Brien, who actually come in with a .320 average. Has had some nice timely hits for Laurel Highlands so far this season. And now Zach Koffler at the plate, picking up his first home run of the season down Elizabeth Ford on Thursday.
Good to see him kind of hitting his stride late in the season.
Went through about a tough week and a half stretch, but that home run has his average back up to .250 and has driven in 8 runs so far this year.
Looks at ball one outside on the breaking pitch, that time from Thomas.
And he knew it was just a matter of time before Zach would get things flowing again for Laurel Highlands.
Fastball in there for a strike, 1-1, evens the count with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. No score. Thomas getting the signal from his battery mate Colt Sparks. Winds and deals. There's a check swing foul over the backstop behind home plate.
Saw Zach's dad Ray on Saturday. Said, "Why didn't you have his home run on TV on Thursday?" It's tough when we find out about games about 3 hours beforehand when the times got switched around. We apologize for not having the action on Thursday. Just had some other program conflicts and scheduling conflicts. Couldn't have it on for you there on WMBS or on South Union on Thursday.
So he's going to hit one today.
Yes. That would be nice.
High and inside. So 2-2 now the count. I'm sorry, 2-1. Oh, it is 2-2. Had it correct. Here's the pitch. Curveball, little high, runs the count full. So with one out, Zach Koffler trying to get a runner on for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the second. Playing him deep in center field, medium depth in left and right, straight away around the outfield. 3-2 pitch. There's a line shot into center field. That might get in the gap, but coming over to cut it off and hold Koffler to a single will be the left fielder Tanner Uphold. But a shot there by Koffler, a rope into left center for the one-out single.
Really good to see him starting to heat up again, Gary. And if he didn't have that high grass, that ball might have snuck into the gap there. But the Mustangs will take a one-out hit from Zach Koffler, a runner on base with Carson D'Amico coming to the plate.
Carson also batting from the right side, wearing number 17.
.444 average for Carson, has driven in 10 so far this year.
Check of the runner by Thomas. Koffler takes off in there for a strike, down to second, and he is out. Wow.
Good throw
nice
there.
Throw there by Colt Sparks, and also a nice dig out there by Mason Kuhn to put the tag on Koffler to erase that one-out single. Now 2 outs and nobody on for the Mustangs.
Colt Sparks, the junior catcher with the throw, and the freshman Mason Kuhn, as Gary said, with the tag out, and just like that, 2 away with D'Amico still at the plate.
1 strike on D'Amico. He'll have to try to start things again. That's just a little high, 1-1.
Have to thank our live video stream sponsors on WMBS today, Potter's Bar and Grill and Sisson Pre-Owned. Steve Superk's probably down there today, Gary, I'd have to think.
Buying and selling.
Yes.
1-1 pitch. That's high and inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Our South Union streaming sponsors today include the Sprouse Insurance Group and Agent David Hughes, United Bank, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law, South Union Township Supervisors Robert Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, SWGI, Uniontown, Zebly Mahalav, and White, and the Centers for Rehab Services.
Fastball right in there for strike 2.
Say hello to our good buddy Ware Gladman checking in on the live stream today as well. Hope Ware's doing well. The off-season from Hoops.
Thomas with the signal. He'll step back again, try to regroup there as D'Amico steps out. Here's the pitch. Curveball, and that is fouled back out of play, so still 2-2, I believe.
Got the sun coming out, Gary.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like it, but it certainly brightened things up. Got to be good for Jerry and the camera.
He might not like it now if he set things up for cloudy skies.
Yeah.
You'll have to readjust here on the fly.
Thomas trying to end this bottom of the second. 2 outs. There's a pitch. Another foul back by D'Amico. So making Thomas throw a few pitches. He had 19 pitches in the first inning. He's up to 33 total.
And limited to 100 in any given game.
There's a pitch again, and another ground ball down to third. Picked up there nicely by the third baseman, Lambie, on to Jack White for the 3rd out. So the minimum faced that inning by Christian Thomas with the throw out at second will go to the top of the 3rd here on the C. Harper Sports Afternoon on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Derby's Riverside Ford is pleased to announce that we have once again been awarded Ford Motor Company's highest honors for 2020, the Ford President's Award. In order to achieve this award, dealers must exceed customer expectations every day and achieve the highest levels of performance. The pursuit of excellence requires passion, tenacity, and hard work in both sales and service. The Thurby family and our employees would like to thank our customers for scoring us the highest in the Pittsburgh region for customer satisfaction. The Thurby family has earned the prestigious President's Award 20 times. No other Ford dealer in the tri-state area can claim this milestone. Remember, victory is achieved each time a customer translates into a lifelong relationship, and that's a celebration of excellence. Please stop by Thurby's Riverside Ford and experience the difference.
Brian Marozak, Gary Frankhauser back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. The Red Raiders with Andrew Maher, Aiden Martin, and Mason Kuhn due up here in the top half of the third. We had 3 strikeouts from Joe Chambers in the top of the first and 3 6-3 outs in the top of the second. We'll see what this third inning has in store as Joe misses on the first pitch there to Andrew. Comes in with a .207 average and 3 RBI. Senior center fielder for the Red Raiders here today. And squaring around a bunt here, Gary. Now pulls back, pitching there for a strike to even up the count at 1-1.
Clearly a take, but that ball was right in the strike zone. Could have easily bunted that either down the first baseline or the third baseline, but the Mustangs did charge nicely.
Might have some more opportunities with that high grass to bunt here today. Swing and a miss there for Mayer, and they count it 1-2.
Saw between innings that Coach Smith had a little conversation with Zach Koffler, maybe going over the signs. Might not have had the steal sign.
1-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So that's strikeout number 4 for Joe Chambers. And 1 away here in the top half of the third inning. This game's still scoreless between Uniontown and Laurel Highlands.
The longer this game goes in this fashion, the more confidence the Red Raiders have.
I think so. I agree as the underdog. And they're due to win one of these tight games late the way their season's gone so far this year. Now Aiden Martin at the plate. Swing and a miss there at the first pitch from Joey Chambers. Sophomore came in with a 174 average and 4 RBIs. The DH here today. He's batting for the third baseman, Chaz Lambie. Now the 0-1. Fastball coming around there was Martin, and just like that, the count at 0-2 to the sophomore Aiden Martin.
Tied him up on the inside corner with that one.
Now the 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball.
Whoa.
Now it just missed.
Tough one to take there.
Yeah, for sure. Count out 1-2.
Good 0-2 pitch.
Certainly the pitching even more of a concern for Uniontown due to the fact that they have 4 conference games to play this week. And there's Chambers, another strikeout, sending down Aiden Martin, 5th K on our scorecard for Chambers already here today. And 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the third. Now the freshman Mason Kuhn coming to the plate, batting .364.
Up next, number 10.
Nice bat to have in that 9th spot for the Red Raiders.
Well, they've had some talented freshmen. Again, one freshman I'm surprised that's not out there today is the coach's son, Tate Musco, who's been a mainstay. They're pitching or playing first base for the Red Raiders this year. Mason takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Mentioned Mason's dad, J.C., former boxer from the area, Gary. Go back about 10 years, J.C.
Absolutely.
Pitch high and inside there to Mason. Got now 2-0. And a 2-0 pitch from Joey. Right down the pipe for a strike. 2-1 now to Mason Kuhn. Top of the order, Christian Thomas due up next. Uniontown looking for their first hit of the afternoon.
With Chambers facing the minimum so far.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Chambers to Kuhn. Breaking ball in there for strike 2.
That one caught the inside corner. Just again freezes that right-handed batter. This time Mason Kuhn, but that's a tough pitch to hit.
Now Chambers an opportunity for the second time in this game to strike out the side. 2-2 pitch here to Mason Kuhn. Breaking ball swing and a miss, strike 3. So Chambers does it. The 6th strikeout for Joey Chambers. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Scoreless, Uniontown and Laurel Highlands here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Hi, I'm Russ Plejo, your local Allstate agent. The number 21 has always had a special meaning to me. When I was young, it meant reaching adulthood. As a lifelong Pirates fan, the number 21 meant one thing, the great Roberto Clemente. 3,000 hits, MVP, World Series hero. But more than that, a great humanitarian who will always be remembered for losing his life in a rescue mission to help those in need. And now, the number 21 represents my 21st anniversary as your local Allstate agent. I would like to think that, like Roberto, I know the importance of community involvement as well as helping neighbors. Over the past 21 years, my staff and I have committed ourselves to learning about our customer needs and personalizing protection for them. From bundling auto, home, and life insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverages based on their protection needs. Are you in good hands? Call me, Russ Plejo, at 724-439-9700 or stop by my office on Lebanon Avenue today for a free quote.
Back here at Landman Field, it's Ty Stankovich, Braden McKnight, and Caden Early due up for Laurel Highlands here in the bottom of the third inning. This game's still scoreless. Mustangs with 2 hits, infield single from Nick Kumar and a single to left field from Zach Koffler back in the second inning. Mustangs left Kumar stranded. Koffler was caught stealing. Now the first pitch misses low here to Ty Stankovich. Count 1-0. Stankovich, sophomore second baseman here today, came in with a .389 average and 8 RBIs.
Good bats all the way up and down that Mustang lineup.
For sure.
Really no weak spots.
1-0 pitch. Maybe a throwaway there from Thomas. Takes the count now to 2-0. Buddy Mookie John checking in as well on the live stream here today. Hello to Mook. Of course, he's the uncle of the Mustangs starting pitcher here today, Joe Chambers.
I don't think Mookie taught him how to pitch.
No. Mookie, better basketball player.
That's right. Good
back in
basketball
his day.
Coach, yeah.
Yep. Former coach out at Penn State Fayette. Now 3-0 here to Stankovich. And finally, Thomas finds the strike zone, and we're at 3-1. Thomas focused again. 3-1 pitch on the way, and Stankovich with a high fly ball. Charging from center field and able to knock it down. There was Maher, and Stankovich was halfway down to second. He'll head down, back down to first. And it's a single to center field for Ty Stankovich, and the Mustangs in business here in the bottom of the third inning.
That just blooped right in between the shortstop, the left fielder, and the center fielder. Just found the only grass available out there. But Ty will take it for that leadoff single.
I'll bring up Braden McKnight, the junior third baseman, coming in with a .286 average and 8 RBIs. And Stankovich, the third base runner of the afternoon for the Mustangs, and he does have good speed. About a 2-step lead off that first base bag. I'll see how concerned Thomas is with Stankovich. Now Uniontown adjusting their defense a little bit here, Gary.
The infield pulled around to the right side, but still a big hole between first baseman White and second baseman Kuhn, as White is holding on Stankovich.
They check Ty. You have Lambie in on the infield grass at third in case McKnight lays down a bunt. McKnight the lefty, and with that high and wet grass, not only do you have the opportunity, is another check here of the runner, and Stankovich again back safely. You may beat some of those out too, Gary. The grass a little slow here in the infield.
Exactly.
Again, they'll check Stankovich for the third time. And Ty back safely again. Buddy Marr, the base umpire, a good look over there at first. Now the pitch to hit McKnight.
It did. I think it got hit
the bottom of the bat.
Yeah. Wow. I don't think I've seen that for a while.
No. So it goes to strike, yep.
Foul ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bad luck there for McKnight.
And Braden pointed right at the bottom of the bat.
Didn't even try to sell it. Should have grabbed his hand in pain.
He would have been in pain had that hit his hand.
0-1 pitch, and there's a shot. It's a fair ball down the first base line. Sankovic on his way to third. Into second goes Braden McKnight. Stand-up double. They're going to hold Sankovic with nobody out here in the inning at third after a quick relay came in from Eric Odom. So back-to-back hits to start this bottom of the third inning for Laurel Highlands and the Mustangs in business. 2 on and nobody out.
Holding the runner on at first. Jack White really had no chance at that, as that was a rocket down the first base line, and did his best to try to grab it, but once it got past him into the corner down there in right field, allowed Sankovic to get to third easily.
Now you got the top of the order up as well here with Caden Early. Early flew out to Tanner Uphold in left field. First time up. Breaking ball here from Thomas. In there for a strike. 0-1 to Early, who came in with a .394 average and 7 RBIs. Junior center fielder for the Mustangs.
Red Raiders up at third and first. Back at short and second playing for the out.
Sankovic at third. McKnight at second. And stepping off here is Christian Thomas. We'll start to see this game slow down now, Gary, here with 2 runners on and nobody out. And the Red Raiders trying to get themselves out of a jam here in the bottom of the third inning. And that pitch missing low to Caden Early. Nice. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Good block there by Colt Sparks behind the plate. No chance for that to get by, and an opportunity for Sankovic to think about coming to home.
Not a lot of room behind home plate.
Get a carom down there sometimes.
You could, yep. Got a step off there from Christian Thomas.
McKnight back easily. Good crowd now filling up. The bleachers even filling up over there on the other side.
2 local teams, Uniontown and Laurel Highlands. Again, they'll play at Bailey Park tomorrow, 4 o'clock start. They'll have it for you both here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network and the Triple I High School Sports Network. That one popped foul by Caden Early. Takes the count to 1-2. He'll be situated tomorrow down the first base line at Bailey Park.
They don't let you go behind home plate anymore, Brian?
They set up some new electricity down the first base line for us and sets up a little better camera angle as well for the Facebook Live feed. I'm not sure if they have electricity working
at the
in that concession stand.
Yeah.
Correct. So they put a new outlet down the first base line for us. Have to thank the city of Uniontown for doing that for us. Mayor Bill Gerke, Joe Walkos in charge of the field down there and getting that installed earlier on this year. And there's a little nubber, and this could be trouble. Picked up there by Kuhn, who has no play. So an infield RBI single for Caden Early.
We'll give that credit to the grass on that one, too. That one just got by Thomas as he was reaching out to his left to try to grab that as it went past the mound. And once it got past him, just died in that grass. And no chance for Kuhn to come up with that and make a play on the speedy Early coming down the first base line. Sankovic scores.
So that's the 8th RBI of the season for Early. As Gary said, Sankovic scores the game's first run. And the Mustangs have a 1-0 lead here over Uniontown. Now with runners on the corner, still nobody out here in this bottom of the third inning, and Joe Chambers now at the plate. Christian Thomas trying to get out of a jam here for Uniontown. 3 straight hits here in the inning for Laurel Highlands, and now the throw down to second, and they're going to say Early safe at second as he took off there, and Thomas never even threw the pitch.
Well, it probably was a play to get caught in a rundown, maybe to try to allow McKnight to score, but he just took off and never stopped. Just barely beat that in.
So now 2 in scoring position. Infield coming in here for Uniontown. And Chambers at the plate. Runners on second and third. Whole infield in. And that pitch misses for ball 1.
Really no choice for Uniontown to try to limit the runs for the Mustangs with the way Joe Chambers is pitching so far. They have to believe that runs are at a premium.
You look again at the week that Uniontown has coming up. Another game with Laurel Highlands tomorrow, and then 2 against Ringgold. And really need to win 3 of 4 to have a realistic shot at qualifying for the WPIAL playoffs. Another foul there from Chambers. Evens up the count at 1-1. And Chambers struck out swinging first time up at the bottom of the first inning. Came in with a .290 average and 11 RBIs. And a good opportunity here to add to that RBI total, with runners on second and third.
Anything in the outfield would add to those RBIs.
That infield ain't. He can get a hard rip here. Easily get one through. Now the 1-1 pitch here to Joe. Breaking ball and a little one-hopper, and a good job there to keep that one in front of him, but a wide throw from Chuck Check, wide of Jack White, and that will score Braden McKnight. So initially Chuck Check did a nice job there, Gary, to knock that one down, but the throw just wide. And safe at first is Chambers, and the Mustangs score another run as Braden McKnight comes around to make it 2-0.
You're exactly right. Nice play there by Chuckchick to hold the runner at third initially, but then the throw just a little bit wide over here at first, and Jack White not able to grab it as it goes down the right field line. But
scoring that E6?
Absolutely, but now we have runners on first and third, still nobody out.
And a courtesy runner, C.J. Gesk, running for the pitcher Joe Chambers now at first. And Gesk has made an impact every time he's on the field for Laurel Highlands. Has a .556 batting average and a great runner as well. Runners on the corners, and Nick Kumar fouls one off. 0-1. Nick an infield single first time up.
Running for Joe Chambers, number 2, C.J. Gesk.
As Laurel Highlands trying to open this one up.
Another good opportunity for Nick to drive a runner in as the infield now goes back for Uniontown. Double play depth. Fake over to the third and trying to get CJ off at first, but smart base running by him.
At this point of the inning right now, Gary, you've already conceded 2 runs, but you still have nobody out. 4 straight Mustangs have reached base safely. Just need to find a way to kind of start the process to get out of the inning and minimize the damage.
Tough task against Nick Kumar.
Oh, for sure. That pitch missed a little low. Count now even at 1-1. I'm sure you don't want to make it 3-0, but 3-0 is still better than maybe 6 or 7-0. So how aggressive do you want to get defensively?
Yeah, and it's really only the third inning, so if they could get a double play, that would be huge.
Yeah, and you concede the 1 run, and then you're sitting with the bases empty and 2 outs. Granted, you're down 3-0, but as you said, you're still going to get your cracks at it here later in the game. That pitch again missing low to Nick Kumar. Count now at 2-1.
Coach Smith's giving him the RBI signal down there.
Of course, you have to refresh the signals. Of course, they're all the same. I'm sure they're using throughout the course of the year, but you're used to seeing Coach DeBerry down there at third. They check Gesk, who's back safely. And again, we wish Coach DeBerry our best under the weather here today. Hope to have him back out the field soon.
Gesk might be taking off here with no outs.
Yeah, why not? He's running. That pitch inside. Throw down to second, not in time. Speedy C.J. Gesk into second safely. Now runners on second and third again with nobody else. Got now 3-1 to Nick Kumar.
So now if you're Uniontown, I would think you have to bring the infield in.
Yep, again.
But they don't.
Now they're in at third with Lambie. But you still have Kuhn back and almost behind the second base bag. Now they're going to readjust here a little bit. Lambie backing up a little bit again at third. And a 3-1 count here to Nick Kumar. Of course, has a dangerous bat here for Laurel Highlands. Mustangs already up 2-0, looking for more. 3-1 pitch from Christian Thomas, and this ball hit high in the air. It goes over the head of Eric Odom out in right field. Gesk on his way to score. Kumar heading into third, and they're going to hold him up at third with a stand-up triple. And Odom just misplayed that ball, Gary, out in right.
He did. It was a line drive, and that's hard to judge if you're him out in right field. But he took 2 steps in, and that was his first error. But it got over his head regardless, and that's a triple for Nick Kumar. 2 RBIs, and brings out Coach Mosco to talk it over with Christian Thomas.
You mentioned the pitching situation for Uniontown. Not much margin for error this week with 4 straight conference games. Really need to get as many innings as you can out of all 4 of your potential starters for the week. And Ringgold certainly in that same situation as Uniontown this week with 4 conference games in 4 days. And Uniontown's also had some contact tracing issues as well, which have limited their depth a little bit this week. So you don't know what the situation's going to be here later in the week.
But they're in a heap of trouble right now with 5 straight Mustangs reaching base, nobody out here in the bottom of the 3rd, 4 runs in so far.
I think that contact tracing, one of the reasons the Red Raiders were not able to play last Thursday as well when Laurel Highlands got a doubleheader in. We're trying to get one of those games in at least against Ringgold. Now Alex McLean at the plate, and that one hops away from Colton Sparks. Laurel Highlands now in the lead at 4-0, and Gary, still nobody out here in this bottom of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, that's big problems here, but the Mustangs need to add on as much as they can if you're on their side.
They're going to get the bullpen going here as well. You have Aiden Martin jogging down the 3rd base line, and this one popped up in foul territory from McLean. You have Martin playing catch there, Gary, with Brock Sennett.
So either one of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to be the potential pitcher to come in there. They're just loosening up some arms. Sennett the lefty, Martin a righty. Next pitch here to McLean, again fouled off. Count out 1-2. McLean, the 6th Mustang to bat here in this bottom of the 3rd inning. He grounded out 5-3 first time up. Came in with a .441 average and 12 RBIs. Junior catcher for the Mustangs here today.
Thomas looking for any kind of an out here for the Red Raiders.
Breaking ball, another one fouled off there by Alex McLean.
And that's just the 3rd inning, and he's already at 56 pitches for Christian Thomas.
Yeah, not good. Again, when you still have 3 conference games to play over the next 3 days.
So regardless what happens here, you might see a new pitcher for Uniontown next inning.
Correct. And conceivably, you could still, if Thomas stays under 75 pitches, bring him back for Thursday if you needed to. Of course, you don't want to get in that type of a situation, though.
Low and outside to McLean. Good look there.
Thomas was so solid first 2 innings. Now searching for an out right now. 2-2 count here to Alex McLean. And from the stretch, 2-2 pitch on the way. McLean with a rip here, and that one is going to be caught by Tanner Uphold. Great grab there from Uphold. It still will score a run. Sac fly RBI there from McLean, driving in Nick Kumar from 3rd. And that increases the Laurel Highlands lead now to 5-0.
That ball hit on a rope, but as you said, a nice play out there by Tanner Uphold. He just went to his left perfectly, a little hop, catching it over his head and getting that first out of the inning and emptying the bases for the Mustangs.
13th RBI of the season for McLean, and Braden O'Brien coming to the plate. O'Brien grounded out 4-3 to start the bottom half of the 2nd inning. He'll take the first pitch low for ball 1.
We said starting this inning, Brian, that there were really no weak spots in the Mustang lineup, and getting things started, the 8 and 9 hitters.
Correct. And Sankovic batting .389, McKnight .286. And there's another hard-hit ball knocked down by Chuck. Throw over to first in time to White to retire.
That's only
O'Brien,
2 outs.
6-3. You're right.
Chuck thought it was 3. He was headed to the dugout.
It's been that long of an inning.
But nice play again there by Hunter. Had to backhand at him, made a perfect throw over here to Jack White this time. So
up next, number 24.
2 outs now in the inning.
Now Zach Koffler coming to the plate. Koffler singled last time up. It was caught stealing. He's the 8th Mustang to bat here in the bottom of the third. Came in with a .250 average, a homer, and 8 RBIs. And he'll swing at the first pitch here, hit high in the air to right center field. And this one will be caught as hanging on there, Eric Odom in right for the third out of the inning. But the Mustangs score 5 and lead it 5-0 over Uniontown after 3 here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Day.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy East. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease up through GMF for well-qualified individuals 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply while supplies last. Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases. But most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Here we go with the top half of the fourth at Tom Lamon Field here at Laurel Highlands. Gary Frankhauser along with Brian Rozak. Back in the studio, we have at the Uniontown Hospital studio.
WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital
right.
Studios.
Yeah, Nick Barczyk.
Yes.
Who always does a great job. Back on the hill now, Joe Chambers. 3 strikeouts in the first inning. 3 groundouts in the second. Here's a pop right over our head. And 3 strikeouts in the third.
But we're due, Gary, to have 3 straight 6-3 outs here in the second. Correct, the way the scoreboard's gone so far. So Nick Kumar better be ready over there short.
But it's the leadoff hitter, Christian Thomas, at the plate for the Red Raiders. Fastball in the dirt, 1-1.
Uniontown's looking for their first hit of the afternoon.
Here in the fourth inning.
Bobby Ruggieri checking in as well on our live stream. Hello to Bobby.
Fastball off the shin of Christian Thomas for the strike. Foul ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter for the Red Raiders here in the top of the fourth, trying to get something started now with the Mustangs on top, 5-0.
Thomas came in with a .275 average and 7 RBIs.
Pitch from Chambers, and there's a strike 3 swinging on a curveball again. Good catch in there by McLean, so messed up our system there, Brian. He got
maybe
a strikeout.
I think we're going to have this working out now, Gary. You're going to have the K's hitters 1 through 3, the 6-3 hitters 4 through 6, and the K's hitters 7 through 9. So that would still work out all right.
See how that works.
Yeah.
Chuckcheck now in there and looks at ball a little bit high. Hunter, the shortstop for Uniontown.
Came in with a .405 average and 4 RBIs.
Fouls this one back. 1-1.
Good-looking player, junior shortstop. He'll be back next year. Only 2 seniors on this Uniontown roster. Andrew Maher and Alex Pesco.
And a lot of very young underclassmen.
Correct. Freshman class, Tate Musco, Mason Kuhn, Wyatt Nails, Wade Bruger, Braden Plum, and Austin Grego.
Breaking pitch a little high. 2-1 now to Hunter. Mustang outfield shallow in left and right. About medium depth in center field. There's a high one for a ball 3, so 3-1. Joe now trying to regroup.
And these 2 teams will meet again tomorrow. 4 o'clock start, at least we think, Gary.
Yeah, things change in a heartbeat. 3-1 pitch. Curveball right in there for strike 2. And Joe goes to that curveball when he needs a strike.
He's done a nice job, again, mixing up the pitches this afternoon. Really has gotten into the groove of things here over the last couple of weeks. And along with Nick Kumar, really providing a nice 1-2 punch on the mound for the Mustangs.
Hunter hanging tough in there, fouls that one back. Fastball right at the letters.
All full here at 3-2.
Second batter of the inning, 1 out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That hit the dirt. McLean makes the tag, and that's the second strike out of the inning.
8th of the game for Joe Chambers.
Came back from a 3-1 count that time.
Next, number 19.
Good work. That's going to bring up Eric Odom, the right fielder.
Nice when things are going this well for you.
Struck out looking in the first, and minimum amount of pitches for Chambers also, just 45 pitches. We're in the middle of the 4th. That's a strike on the inside corner. Joe getting a call there, a little bit low on the inside corner, but we'll take it at the knees. 0-1 pitch, that's high and inside, 1-1. High clouds here. We had some sunshine early, but a little overcast now. But no chance of precipitation. There's a pitch and a ground ball to third. Up with it is Braden McKnight for the 3rd out of the inning. So Chambers still perfect through 4. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th with the Mustangs on top 5-0 on the C. Harper Sports Night here on WMBS and the South Union Township Sports Network.
This is Gary Sisson from Sisson Pre-Owned. If you're looking for a great used car at a great price, give us a call at 724-438-2819 or visit us on the web at SissonPreowned.com. During these trying times, we are doing everything 100% online, from financing to virtual walkarounds and home delivery. Visit us on the web at SissonPreowned.com or give us a call, 724-438-2819.
Mama Ruka's Pizza Shop, located at 64 Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, is your prime place to enjoy local high school sports. Mama Ruka's is family-owned and operated, where pride of ownership certainly shows. The Sampson family carries on the tradition of homemade pizza, salads, subs, and wings. Mama Ruka's is open Monday through Saturday, 4 to 10 for indoor-outdoor dining and takeout. Call 724-438-9066 or visit MamaRukaPizza.com for their menu.
Spring forward to home construction season. First Federal of Greene County's variety of construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project. First Federal gives you all of the tools you need with construction loans, owner-builder loans, FHA Title I improvement loans, and home equity loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
Batting first in the bottom of the 4th.
Bottom of the 4th inning. Coming up for the Mustangs. Number 17, Carson D'Amico. Only batter not to come to the plate in the last inning when the Mustangs played at 5, but still out there on the mound, Christian Thomas for the Red Raiders.
D'Amico grounded out 5-3 to end the 2nd inning.
See if the Mustangs can add on to that 5-0 lead. Thomas with the pitch. That's a nice breaking ball. Just misses inside. Didn't get the call.
It's Brock Sennett who's still loosening up for Uniontown down the third baseline, the lefty.
There's a ground ball to second. Up with it is Coons. Oh, just out of the reach of Jack White, and got to buy him, and that's going to be an error, I think, on Jack that time. That was a catchable ball. Coons got it over here, and just off the outside edge of Jack's glove will allow Carson D'Amico to be on at first on the air.
I mentioned that White is not the normal first baseman for Uniontown. It's usually Tate Musco, and sometimes you make those changes, Gary, and those errors occur.
So brings up Sankovic, started things off last inning with that single, came around to score. Fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. So D'Amico on at first. Little unfortunate there for Christian Thomas.
For sure.
Should have been the first out of the inning. Throw over. D'Amico back easily, no tag.
Especially after a tough bottom of the third inning. You get a routine ground ball like that. That's been the way things have gone from time to time this year for Uniontown, unfortunately.
Here's a pitch, and there's a little looper down the third base line. Foul. Out of play. No chance for the coaching staff of Uniontown or Coach Smith down there to make a play.
Parking lot actually pretty filled up there, Gary.
It is very full. Two strikes now to Sankovic. Here's a pitch, and there's a fly ball to left field. Now charging to his left and to his right to the third base line and making another nice play out there. Tanner Uphold had to go a long way to get that one and does track it down for the first out of the inning. The credit there to Tanner Uphold to help out his pitcher, Christian Thomas.
Hit a nice grab back in the first inning to retire Caden early. As you said, did it again. They're retiring Sankovic.
One out now in the inning with D'Amico on at first, and McKnight, who doubled back in the third inning, swings at the first pitch in the dirt. So a little anxious that time. Braden trying to repeat that double.
Mustangs had 5 straight batters reach base safely in that bottom of the third inning.
Quick move over to first by Thomas, had D'Amico diving back. Check of the runner now. Thomas from the stretch. Ground ball to first. Up with it there nicely is Jack White. Steps on first for the out, but moving into scoring position on the play was Carson D'Amico, so he'll be out there at second for Caden Early, who comes to the plate. Had an RBI single back in the third.
14, Caden Early.
With no damage, that would be a spark for the Red Raiders coming into the 5th inning. Early with a ground ball down to first base. No chance there by Joe LaPresta as he booted it.
Rosa Uphold checking in from Polk City, Florida, saying go Red Raiders here today. Edward Early telling us a lot of those Laurel Highlands averages are actually a little bit higher because the stats weren't entered for the Elizabeth Forward game on Thursday. Appreciate the folks checking in on our live stream.
0-1 pitch. In the dirt, another nice block there by Sparks. He's a good backstop.
Yes. Already threw out Zach Koffler back in the second inning.
1-1 count now to Caden Early with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. D'Amico back in after the fake throw by Thomas.
The third time through the order for the Mustangs.
Short lead out there at second by D'Amico. Here's the pitch. Fly ball into center field, and scooting over to make the catch is Andrew Maher. So that'll do it for the Mustangs. No damage in the 4th. We'll go to the top of the 5th with the Mustangs on top 5-0. See Harper Sports Night on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Trib Live High School Sports.
Going on now with D.R. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is for cash, title fees, and first payments. Residency restrictions apply. While supplies last. Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
South Union Township Supervisor Robert Robert Schiffbauer wishes the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs this season and in the playoffs. During these uncertain times, a lot of hard work goes into a successful season, and that includes the cooperation of players, coaches, and their families. South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer commends all of those whose hard work has gone into making this a successful season. Like our local teams, Robert Schiffbauer is working hard to make life better for the residents of South Union Township. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs from South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Brian Morozak, Gary Frankhauser back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School. I think we have a defensive change here for the Mustangs, Gary.
Yes, out in left field now for the Mustangs replacing Carson D'Amico is Jace Hampy.
Also now playing left field.
Well, Hampy was playing right.
Jake Fleshar.
As
I'm
Jake
sorry,
Fleshar.
Jake. That's right. It was Jace is in right field. That's
Okay.
Jake. My apologies.
The Jake Fleshar now out in the left. We saw Jake get some time against Greater Latrobe a week ago Friday.
Senior outfielder. Getting an opportunity against a crosstown rival. There's a ground ball to short. Up with it is Kumar on to first for the out.
Sparks retired 6-3.
Sorry to step on your
Oh,
toes.
you're all right.
Brian.
I was going to take care of it, but that's fine. That's fine. So 1 up, 1 down. Now Tanner Uphold coming to the plate. Sophomore left fielder.
There's your 6-3.
Yes. But it got ruined by the 5-3 where Odom was retired, though, to end the fourth. So that kind of broke our little streak he had going with the books. Mustangs will still take it as Joe Chambers, you hate to say it, you mentioned it, Gary, last half inning, perfect so far, and a swing and a miss there from Tanner Uphold. Uphold came in with a .371 average.
I wasn't going to say it again. You had to add to it.
And showing bunt, pitch was in the dirt. Was it fouled off? I think it was.
He bunted through it regardless.
Yes. I count 0-2 now to Tanner Uphold. And Mookie John checked in to tell us it was Joe's dad that actually taught him how to pitch. Actually pitched for Uniontown and Westminster.
Wow. Well, I'm saying that Joe probably has a little more velocity than even his dad.
Yeah, the way he's been thrown. Again, only a junior. And we've seen some of that velocity even when he's played quarterback for the football team. Now for the Red Raiders, you have Alec Pesco warming up. They've been loosening up some arms down there in case they need some relief help for Christian Thomas.
Timeout call. What do we got? Counts 0-2. I think they had to
double check it.
Buddy Mayer right on top
Yes.
of it as the count correct down here at first base.
0-2 on the way. And that one just missed.
Almost got him to chase.
Yes. What our buddy likes umpiring again.
He seems like he loves
Yeah.
the game, so that's just keeping you involved.
Seems to be enjoying it. 1-2. Missed again. Fastball low. Evens things up at 2-2. Again, the Mustangs one conference game remaining against Uniontown tomorrow for the 2021 campaign. They'll be in the WPIAL playoffs. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And back to the breaking ball. Down goes Uphold, and that's strikeout number 9 for Joe Chambers.
Starting the inning, just 48 pitches.
Wow. Extremely efficient has been Joe Chambers so far today. Now Jack White coming to the plate. He grounded out 6-3. It's only his 14th plate appearance of the season for Uniontown. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Sophomore first baseman.
Might see the staff tomorrow, Brian. I
Yes.
think he might.
1-0 pitch in there for a strike.
Coach DeBerry, I'm sure he's in contact with Coach Smith and Coach LaPresta to go over the plans for pitching.
I still think you're starting at Kumar tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't take any game for granted at this point of the season. You saw what happened against Greensburg-Salem.
That curveball had.
Yep. I think White was backing out of the batter's box.
That just broke right over the corner.
On the count 1-2. Chambers to White, comes back with a fastball, a little number. This could be trouble. Charging in from second and making the play there. Ty Sankovic to Zach Koffler for the third out of the inning. So Joe Chambers perfect through 5. Right into the bottom of the 5th, 5-0 Mustangs over the Red Raiders here on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply. While supplies last. Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231.
Elect Patrick Livingston for your next North Union Township supervisor. I was born, raised, and currently reside in North Union Township. I have the desire, skills, and experience to help North Union Township continue to thrive. I hold a valid commercial driver's license and the ability to operate equipment necessary to maintain and benefit township residents. My ability to work well with others to ensure a job well done bodes well for the township's success. I am asking for your support in the upcoming election.
Paid for by the candidate.
Brian Rozak, Gary Frankhauser back here at Landman Field. New pitcher for the Red Raiders, Brock Sennett. Only his second appearance of the season, Gary, and certainly coming in here in a tough spot. His team down 5-0. And he'll be facing here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Hitters 2, 3, and 4 in this Mustang lineup. Joe Chambers, Nick Kumar, and Alex McLean.
And I don't see Thomas out on the field, so it must have been a straight switch with Sennett coming in for Thomas.
Which is somewhat surprising because they usually use Thomas out in the field. And again, a busy week for Uniontown, first of 4 straight conference games. And they're keeping their bullpen active down there on the Red Raiders side with Aiden Martin still trying to stay loose. You have Joe Chambers at the plate, struck out swinging back in the 1st inning, got on via an error in the 3rd inning, but did score a run. And Sennett a lefty here for Uniontown. He'll wind and fire the first pitch here to Joe Chambers. It's a breaking ball, and it misses for ball 1.
Joe with an RBI back in the 3rd inning on the ground ball to short.
Sennett certainly presents a different look for Mustang batters. And a rip there to 3rd, knocked down by Lambie. Throw over to 1st in time to White to retire Chambers 5-3 for the first out of the inning. Maybe an opportunity there for Sennett to breathe a little deeper, get that first out of the way. And now Nick Kumar coming to the plate. And Nick's 2 for 2, stand-up triple. Picked up a pair of RBIs last time up, also scored a run.
Sun back out here at Landman Field.
Like to see that. We've been moving right along on this Monday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. High school baseball on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live as Sennett finds the strike zone on the first pitch to Nick Kumar. And we're back at it tomorrow over at Bailey Park. Red Raiders and the Mustangs, 4 o'clock first pitch. Looking forward to it again. 0-1 on the way. Kumar fouls it off just like that. Nick behind 0-2.
Good pitch by Sennett. Just a little change of pace, curveball on the outside part of the plate, and had Nick kind of just reaching out to foul it off.
So now 2 strikes on Nick Kumar. Sennett's next pitch, a little bit of a throwaway there. Takes it to 1-2. And this one of 3 scheduled conference games going on today. Elizabeth Forward scheduled to play under the lights at Belle Vernon. They're still working on that field, trying to get the complex playable. And West Mifflin at Ringgold Sennett again off the plate there to even things up at 2-2 to Kumar. I was really surprised, though, Gary, again, not to take anything away from West Mifflin, and why would you? They're 8-1 in the conference, but their sweep over Bell Vernon last week was still a bit surprising.
Absolutely.
2-2 pitch on the way, and Kumar, well-hit ball, and it's a fair ball down the third base line. Nick rounding first on his way to second. Tanner Uphold with a relay in. It's a stand-up double for Nick Kumar.
Tanner Uphold playing deep in left field, and once that ball got past third base, no chance down there for Lambie to make a play. That ball just died about 50 feet out in left field and allowed Kumar to scoot into second with the stand-up double. So if he gets another opportunity, could see the cycle.
Correct. He has an infield single in the first, stand-up triple in the third, and now a stand-up double here in the fifth. We'll see if he can get another at-bat in this one. Alex McLean now coming to the plate. Junior catcher, sac fly RBI last time up, grounded out 5-3 to end the first inning. Coming to the plate here with one out, the Mustangs up 5-0 over Uniontown. First pitch, breaking ball, hops away from Sparks. That'll allow Kumar to get down to third.
Call that a wild pitch.
Yes. And Bell Vernon in a similar spot that the Red Raiders are in this week. Games against Elizabeth Forward Monday, Tuesday, and they'll play Greensburg-Salem Wednesday, Thursday this week.
Have they clinched a playoff spot, Brian?
They sit at 5-3. I'm not sure mathematically they've clinched, because they could still possibly get to 5-7 and have a couple of teams pass them up, but they're still sitting pretty as far as the playoffs are concerned. They'd have to have a whole bunch of things go against them to miss out on the postseason. Again, only Laurel, Highlands, and Greensburg-Salem with 2 games to play. That one really got away from Sennett.
Just a bit outside.
Yes. That would be an understatement. Count now on 2-1. Sennett trying to hang in there with Nick Kumar down at third. Mustangs up 5-0, and Alex McLean at the plate. It'll be a 2-1 pitch here. Sennett to McLean, and now Sennett steps off here again as the Red Raiders continue to loosen up Aiden Martin. On the stretch again, the lefty Sennett delivers the next pitch, and again it hops off the glove. Kumar heading home, and safe at home is Nick Kumar as that one got away from Colt Sparks. It's now 6-0 Laurel Highlands.
So Kumar does it himself.
Yes.
Doubles, goes to third on the wild pitch, and the pass ball able to score. He had a huge lead down there at third base, got a big jump, and not even a close play at home.
You kind of sense with Sennett losing a couple of those pitches well off the mark. Certainly created the opportunity there for Kumar to score. Next pitch to McLean, and that's going to be ball 4. And a walk there from Sennett. So now McLean on first. Might see a courtesy runner here. We will. It'll be Brett Lemansky on to run.
Courtesy runner for the catcher.
Braden O'Brien coming to the plate. This one quickly getting away from the Red Raiders.
Up next, the designated hitter, number 22, Braden O'Brien.
Braden O'Brien so far 0 for 2 in this game. He's due for a hit. A couple of ground outs, 4-3 in the second inning, 6-3 in the third. And Laurel Highlands could realistically here, Gary, end the game here in the 5th inning. Played a couple more runs, you get to 10-0, that would do it. Another pitch. A little one-hopper block there by Sparks. 1-0 count to Braden O'Brien. We saw that happen game 1 of the doubleheader against Elizabeth Forward with Chambers on the mound on Thursday here at home.
So we'll have controversy in the statistics if that happens, Brian.
Because the perfect game only through 5 would have the asterisk next to it. And there's a hard hit ball through on the left side past the outstretched glove of Hunter Chukchek in the left field. So give Braden O'Brien a single to left. I guess you look at it 2 ways. Obviously, you'll take a win. You'll take a perfect game in 5 innings any day and obviously get to rest your arm. But from a pitcher perspective, you'd love to go out and say, I pitched a 7-inning perfect game.
Same controversy in the majors this year with the Orioles.
That was a 7-inning no-hitter, which is not going to be ruled a no-hitter as far as the official baseball scoring is concerned, as part of a doubleheader. Now in the infield coming in here again, at least from first and third on the Red Raiders side with Zach Koffler at the plate. Zach takes ball 1. So again, the situation right now, you've one out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mustangs with runners on first and second already ahead 6-0. So essentially, D'Amico in the on-deck circle could end the game. And another pitch that one hops in front of Sparks and allow runners to advance. A courtesy runner, Lemansky, now down to third, and O'Brien in a second.
No chance for Sparks on that one. To hit about 2 feet in front of him. He tried his best to block it, but just caromed off his chest protector and allowed both runners to advance, and now Coach Musco will talk it over.
He might see a pitching change here. Sennett struggling with some control issues right now. Let's see if the Red Raiders are going to stick with Brock. Again, loosening up down there, Alex Pesco. I'm going to stay with Sennett for now. Now runners on second and third. 6-0 lead for Laurel Highlands over Uniontown. Brian Morozak along with Gary Frankhauser, Jerry Dupay behind the camera. And Nick Barczyk back inside our WVE Medicine Uniontown Hospital studios.
I think you said D'Amico on deck. Flesher came in.
Oh, correct. It will be Flesher. Will be Flesher there. Right on that. All right, pitch again off the plate. So now 3-0 to Zach Koffler. First base open would load up the bases for Flesher. Now the 3-0 from Sennett to Koffler. And it's a called strike on the inside corner. Now 3-1. Another long look in there from Sennett. Waiting the 3-1 now to Zach Koffler. Pitch on the way, and Koffler rips this one deep to center field. Maher backing up, and the ball goes off the wall. Scoring on the play, the courtesy runner Lemansky. O'Brien also will score. Relay comes in, and it's a 2 RBI stand-up double for Zach Koffler to make it 8-0 Laurel Highlands.
That ball was about 2 feet from being out of here, Brian. It hit just under the yellow strip that goes across the top of the fence, and he really put a charge into that one.
So now 3 runs scored already here in the inning for Laurel Highlands, and that will be it for pitcher Brock Sennett. So pitching change here for Uniontown. We're back to tell you about the new Red Raider pitcher right after this here on the C. Harperata Group High School Sports Day.
Casey Sports Cafe, owned by the Vernon family, is located on South Mount Vernon Avenue in Uniontown. Casey's has reopened for dine-in services with new hours, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Meals are home-cooked and range from a variety of steaks, chicken and veal parmesan, liver and onions, along with appetizers, salads, wings, and sandwiches. Casey's offers free delivery in the Uniontown area with purchases of $10 or more. Phone 724-550-4126 for Casey Sports Cafe.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sproulsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
On Election Day, vote for experience. Re-elect Curtis Matthews, North Union Township Supervisor. Kurt will continue to vote no to increase your taxes in North Union. Kurt will continue to secure funding for North Union Township to improve infrastructure and continue developing and improving recreation areas and expanding the Sheepskin Trail. Kurt Matthews will continue to work as a team with his fellow supervisors and for all residents of North Union Township, Democrat or Republican. On Election Day, Curtis Matthews would appreciate your vote and ask for your write-in vote.
Paid for by the Friends to re-elect Curtis Matthews, North Union Township Supervisor.
Back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, Alex Pesco, the new pitcher for Uniontown. This is only his 3rd appearance of the season. Has worked just 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Walked 2, struck out 1. and hit 2 batters.
He'll be facing Jake Flesher with an opportunity with Koffler out there in scoring position at second base.
And Flesher saw some action late in the game against Greater Latrobe. He's had 10 at-bats so far this season, 1 of 10 for the season for Flesher. Getting an opportunity here against rival Uniontown with the Mustangs on top 8-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And again, if the Mustangs can get it to 10-0 here in this bottom of the 5th inning, it would end the game. 10-run rule. And you've Ty Sankovic due up behind Flesher.
Little technicality here as Peshko had to go in the dugout. He had a white undershirt on.
Okay.
That is not permitted.
Okay. They're going to make him change his jersey here.
Let's go with the shirt that does not protrude out from the sleeves.
Yes. Seen that happen in basketball from time to time as well.
In the majors, that's always an issue. They also had, I saw this year, one relief pitcher had a glove that was not the right color.
Wow.
Not permitted.
Now Pesco's set to go now. And just 1 out as we work here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Laurel Highlands on top 8-0 over Uniontown. A Pesco against Flesher. Flesher wearing number 15.
The senior.
Yep. Left fielder. Yeah, the Mustangs still working on getting a senior day scheduled. They were supposed to have it coming up on Wednesday against Thomas Jefferson. Jags canceled that one to get in some conference games earlier on today. First pitch missing there from Pesco to Flesher. That's kind of up in the air right now. The only other game the Mustangs currently have scheduled is Thursday at Albert Gallatin down at German Masontown Park. So we'll see what pans out later in the week. And a well-hit ball there from Flesher was going to go foul on the left side.
Wow, he did put a charge in down the left field line. Out of play, but well down the left field line.
Count now even at 1-1. And getting set again, Pesco. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, missing outside. Count now 2-1. And a 4 o'clock start tomorrow down at Bailey Park for Laurel Highlands and Uniontown. Have it for you on WMBS, South Union Township Sports Network, Facebook Live, and the Trib Live High School Sports Network. And plan to have more baseball later on in the week, but at this point, we're taking things day by day, as you almost have to at this juncture of the season.
A lot of epic battles between the Mustangs and the Red Raiders down there at Bailey Park.
Yes.
All the way back to the 1970s.
Always fun to go down there.
Outstanding baseball.
Next pitch on the way, and that's high for ball 4. So Flesher aboard, and he actually represents the game-winning run at this point. If he comes around to score here in the 5th inning, that'll do it. Last meeting, actually, between these two schools prior to today, Laurel Highlands defeated Uniontown 6-5 on May the 7th of 2019. The last time these two schools in the same conference back in 2016, Laurel Highlands won by scores of 11-0 and 1-0. Uniontown did defeat Laurel Highlands in a 2017 non-conference game 4-3. Laurel Highlands won the only meeting in 2018 8-4.
So it's been back and forth.
Yes. Ty Sankovic at the plate. Took ball 1. You've Koffler on second, Flesher on first. And Sankovic at the plate. Laurel Highlands leading 8-0. This one popped up in foul territory. And out of play on the left side. Evens the count now at 1-1. And the WPIAL playoff schedule to get underway next week as well. I think we'll see the pairings out on Friday.
I was just going to ask you that. When are they planned to do the pairings?
As of now, Friday. But again, a lot of these schools with 4 conference games to play in 4 days. Hopefully everybody can get the games in this week. This ball popped up. Again on the left side. Let's see who's going to make the play on it. It's the shortstop, Hunter Chuck for the second out of the inning.
That was a unique effort.
Yes, it was.
By Chuck. He took his hat off, held it in his right hand to make the catch with his glove on his left hand, still holding his hat in his right hand.
Was not an easy play.
Nicely done.
Third base.
There was some talk, Gary, about having an open playoffs like we had for basketball, just due to the fact that you had some teams with COVID issues as well. But as of now, it does not appear that's going to be the case. But again, things could change.
And that would be even difficult to get in before the end of school.
All these one game, you get a week of good weather, though.
Possibly.
The WPIAL championships are currently scheduled June 1st and 2nd at Wild Things Field, which would be the Tuesday and Wednesday after Memorial Day. State playoffs would start the following week, so you'd have pretty much 2 full weeks to get playoff games in, just playing one-game sets. And that one thrown into center field, but quickly scooped up there by Maher.
Diving back into second base was Koffler, so he had no chance to advance to third.
I think at most, Gary, depending on the classification, you'd only have 4 games to get in before the championship game over a 2-week period. So I think definitely doable. Just assuming you're going to have good weather.
And again, you're going to be playing a lot of games in very few days, and pitching would be an issue.
Yes. That one just foul-tipped. I think certainly the right thing to do as far as high school baseball is to make sure that teams cannot use one pitcher the entire way through the WPIAL playoffs.
Right.
And I think in most situations, I think we're going to see the quarterfinal round games and the semifinal round games played on back-to-back days in the respective classifications. Because if you end up having a team that has a first-round bye get in the quarterfinals and you don't do that, then they could use one pitcher. There's a hard chopper going right back to the pitcher. Petsko will make the throw to first to Jack White to get out of the inning with the Mustangs score 3 and after 5 up 8-0 here over Uniontown on the C. Harper Auto Group High School Sports Day.
Good times and good food. It's all at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown, family owned and operated. Potter's has been a staple in the Uniontown community since 1950. So get out of the house and make your next night out at Potter's Bar and Grill on Morgantown Street in Uniontown. Call them up at 724-438-9835. That's 724-438-9835. Or visit Potter's on Facebook. We'll see you at Potter's.
Going on now with D.R. Harper Chevy. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevy.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is for tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply. What supplies last? Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all of the details at 724-929-8000.
Attorneys from all over the state and nation advertise in southwestern Pennsylvania for personal injury and workers' comp cases. But most of them send their assistants to do the legwork. You might not even meet your attorney until your first hearing.
We're local attorneys, Davis & Davis. We meet directly with our clients, including free consultation, and there are no fees until you receive money on your case. If you've been injured, call Davis & Davis, representing you and your neighbors yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Phone 724-437-2799.
Here we go with the top half of the 6th inning, due up for Uniontown. Maher, Martin, and Kuhn to face Joe Chambers. My job to get him through the 6th.
Let's see, Gary. Can you do it?
57 pitches so far for Joe going into the 6th inning. First pitch in there for a strike. Goes to that breaking pitch without hesitation.
I like to see him get an opportunity here at least to stay perfect here through 6 and maybe even into the 7th.
There's a ground ball to short. Up with it is
Kumar.
I'm sorry. Got a brain freeze there. Kumar over to Koffler for the 6-3 out, so we'll start that again, 6-3.
Hold your breath on every hit now at this point of the game.
Nothing out of the infield so far. One out here in the top of the 6th, and Aiden Martin, the designated hitter, will get a chance.
And just a 174 average coming into this game for Martin, 4 RBIs. DH here today.
A little high and inside that time by Joe. Working from the windup seamlessly with his catcher, McLean. That one's right down the pipe with heat. 1-1.
Think he knows he's perfect right now?
I think he could probably hear you. Here's a curveball just missing inside. 2-1.
I'll try to stay low key here the rest of the way.
McLean gives him the signal. Here's the pitch. Another fastball in there for a strike. Is feeding heat right now to Aiden Martin with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Mustangs on top. 8-0. Here's the pitch. There's a little looper into right field and coming in and making the catch.
Wow.
Nice catch in right field that time by the right fielder, Jace Hampy. Had him played shallow.
He did. Wow. That's what I was worried about when I saw that shallow fly ball. I thought that was it.
And that's the first ball out of the infield, but it isn't out.
And Chambers still perfect.
Brings up Mason Kuhn, who struck out back in the 3rd.
Kuhn came in with a .364 average.
Fastball in there for a strike. Good scouting report by the Mustangs, having Hampy play so shallow.
Yes.
Near the line, actually, too. 0-1 pitch. Curveball in there for strike 2. So quickly ahead, Joe Chambers looking for the 3rd out here in the 6th. Checking the count. See if we can get him to chase something here at 0-2. Here's a pitch. Strike. No,
didn't get the call.
Wow. Just missed inside. I think McLean thought that was a strike. He was hopping up, headed to the dugout, but no call as it was a bit inside. 1-2. Line in the pitch again. Ground ball to 3rd. That's foul. Down the 3rd base line. Picked up there by the 3rd base coach. Whipped back over to Joe Chambers. So count remains 1-2.
That would have been trouble if it would have stayed fair, too.
In that high grass, you're right. With McKnight playing deep at 3rd. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that will keep Joe. I'm not going to say it.
He's perfect through 6. 8-0 Laurel Highlands here on the C.R. Verano Group High School Sports Day.
Spring forward to home construction season. First Federal of Greene County's variety of construction and improvement loans puts you in charge of your dream home project. First Federal gives you all of the tools you need with construction loans, owner-builder loans, FHA Title I improvement loans, and home equity loans. With offices in Fayette, Greene, and Washington counties, your loan stays here. Visit a First Federal loan officer today or apply online at firstfederalofgreene.com. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? M&R Transit is now hiring van drivers. Van drivers must be 26 years of age, have a valid driver license, and a clean driving record. Van drivers must be able to obtain all clearances. For more information, call 724-439-3164. That's 724-439-3164, or apply in person at M&R Transit, 253 South Mount Vernon Avenue. M&R Transit wishes the Laurel Highlands Mustangs good luck.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Here we go with the bottom of the 6th. Mustangs on top, 8-0. Peshko on the mound for the Red Raiders. A few other substitutes will try to get to them as Caden Early steps in at first base, number 8 for Uniontown. That's Graydon Plume. There's a pitch and a ground ball. This one will be to Plume and gets under him, but backing it up nicely and trying to make the play, but unsuccessful there was number 10, Mason Kuhn. So on the air will be Caden Early.
Now Joe Chambers coming to the plate.
Starting the inning with a runner on at first, and the Mustangs on top 8-0. So good job there by Kuhn to back things up, but just could not get the ball to his pitcher, Peshko, in time. as Joe Chambers is on now, and he looks at ball 1 high and inside.
For the Red Raiders, number 8.
If there's any other changes for the Red Raiders, we'll try to peruse the
That's what I'm doing right now.
It looks like the same. It's a pitch, swing and a miss by Joe, 1-1.
Think he strikes out on purpose here, Gary, just to record it out?
No.
No. Just because he wants to come out and pitch the top of the 7th?
1-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher now. Little late takeoff there by Early, but he easily down into second as that one got under Sparks back to the dugout, back to the backstop. And looked like he thought he had it, but it did get through him back to the backstop and gets Early down to second in scoring position. The count 2-1 to Joe Chambers.
Yeah, the 4th time through the lineup here for the Mustangs.
That's a little high. 3-1.
Be something if he hits a home run to end the game.
Yeah, Joe could do that. That would be awesome. Perfect game, walk-off homer. There's a pitch, and there's a drive down the left field line. Foul. Just foul down the left field line as Joe was trying to at least have a double on that one. That was just foul down the left field line. Easily, Caden Early would have scored. Kumar's on deck. Big bat with nobody out.
Tesco's the 3rd pitcher that Uniontown's used in this game.
Full count now to Chambers. Pesco from the stretch. That's outside, ball 4. So Chambers works the walk and will bring up Nick Kumar. Already with a couple RBIs, a single, a triple, and a double. Chance for the cycle.
A lot going on here today. We get another courtesy runner, Gesk, to run for Chambers. And that would be another way to end the game, Gary. A Kumar home run for the cycle and getting a perfect game for your pitcher. Something you don't see every day.
Won't be enough room on the front page of the sports page.
No. How would you summarize that?
Looks at ball 1, just a little high and inside, so don't worry. Nick's going to be aggressive up there. He's not going to look for a walk. Here we go. 1-0 pitch. There's a pitch. Swing and a miss. He was going for the
Yes,
he was. Almost
that was a huge cut.
Drilled himself into the ground with that one.
Wow.
1-1. Pesco from the stretch. That one's outside and low. No chance for Nick to take a cut at that one. 2-1.
Usually at this juncture of an 8-0 game, it's not really don't have too much going on, but now you have an opportunity for someone to get a cycle, perfect game. So much going on right now.
All kind of drama here at Landman Field. Timeout called there by Nick. Pesco steps back. On at second, Caden Early. On at first is C.J. Gesk, the courtesy runner for Joe Chambers, as he sits in the dugout, anticipating a 7th inning. That's inside 3-1, so Nick not having a chance to take one of those rips again. Let's see what happens here.
Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th either.
Pesco deliberate. From the stretch, here's a pitch. That's outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks, loads them up for Alex McLean. The winning run now in scoring position at second base with nobody out.
Nobody loosening up in the Uniontown bullpen either.
Up next, the catcher.
Or the Mustang bullpen.
No.
They're going to bring the infield in for the Red Raiders. McLean at the plate so far, grounded to third, sacrifice fly to left, and walked in the 5th, came around to score. Nowhere to put him.
Nope. And the runner at second, Gesk, who's the courtesy runner for Chambers, would end the game.
He can get a huge lead out there, too, with the Red Raider defense up on the grass infield. Peshko with the pitch. In there for a strike. Nice breaking pitch by Alec. And fans along the left field line anticipating something happening here. Outfield deep for the Red Raiders. Strike two, another breaking pitch for Alec. Two beautiful pitches that kind of froze McLean. Now facing an 0-2 count.
Both these teams staying focused in an 8-0 game.
I'm sure we're not losing any viewers.
No, they're going up.
There's a ground ball to third. Play at the plate. One out, maybe a double play. No, safe at first. Nice play down there at third by Chaz Lambie.
So 5-2 on the fielder's choice.
And that's the first out of the inning, so the sacks will remain juiced now for Braden O'Brien.
And Lemansky now on the run for McLean.
The designated hitter.
O'Brien singled and scored a run last time up. He's 1 for 3 today.
So the infield end paid dividends for the Red Raiders right there, but still work to do if you're the Red Raider defense. That's high and outside, so Peshko going to the breaking balls here. Lemansky on at first as the courtesy runner. 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. That's an effective pitch for Alec Peshko. Mustangs not able to pull the trigger on that tantalizing curveball.
If Chambers has to pitch the 7th, he'll face the top of the Uniontown order.
Time called there by O'Brien. Peshko taking a little extra time from the stretch, trying to freeze the batter. One out. Bottom half of the 6th. Mustangs on top, 8-0. There's a ground ball through at the right side, and they're going to send the runner. Will he score the winning run? He will, and that will do it. 10-0. The Mustangs now have the 10-run rule. They're kind of confused out here on the field, but I believe that is the case. It's 10-0. Two RBI single there by Braden O'Brien to end it. And we're going to be back to tell you all about it, including the 6 inning. Well,
yeah, 6 inning perfect game for Joe Chambers.
Perfect game for Joe Chambers. And we'll be right back here on the C. Harper High School Sports Afternoon, WMBS, South Union Township Sports Network, and Trib Live.
On Election Day, vote for experience. Re-elect Curtis Matthews, North Union Township Supervisor. Kurt will continue to vote no to increase your taxes in North Union. Kurt will continue to secure funding for North Union Township to improve infrastructure and continue developing and improving recreation areas and expanding the Sheepskin Trail. Kurt Matthews will continue to work as a team with his fellow supervisors and for all residents of North Union Township, Democrat or Republican. On Election Day, Curtis Matthews would appreciate your vote and ask for your write-in vote.
Paid for by the Friends to re-elect Curtis Matthews, North Union Township Supervisor.
South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer wishes the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs this season and in the playoffs. During these uncertain times, a lot of hard work goes into a successful season, and that includes the cooperation of players, coaches, and their families. South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer commends all of those whose hard work has gone into making this a successful season. Like our local teams, Robert Schiffbauer is working hard to make life better for the residents of South Union Township. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs from South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Does your car sound like it's saying, "Trade me in, trade me in," every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deals, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchase your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1 year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in, trade me in." Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
We're back here at Landman Field at Laurel Highlands High School, where the Laurel Highlands Mustangs have defeated the Uniontown Red Raiders by a score of 10-0. A perfect game in 6 innings for Joe Chambers, who's joining us here on the post-game show. And Joe, back-to-back now solid outings on the mound. Shut out Elizabeth Ford, a 5-inning win this past Thursday, and really had your A game here today.
Yeah, we've just been working hard in practice, throwing a lot of bullpens, and we've really been focusing before every game just to make sure we come out electric. And that's pretty much it. We just work together as a team, hype each other up every single play, and we just went out there and shut them down.
Have you ever been in a situation like that with a perfect game going this late?
No, not yet. This is my first time. It feels pretty good, but I got to thank my teammates for making those outs. I didn't do it all by myself.
Well, you pretty much did with, 10 strikeouts? What was it? I believe
we'll do the book here real quick.
We'll go through that. But in any way, Joe, you got to believe that control was a real big issue, and moving through that lineup, you really did not have anyone go deep into the count. I think you only went 3 and 2 on one batter. So was that part of your concentration here this evening?
Yeah, everything works a lot smoother when I get that first pitch strike. It's really important, and my coaches always say first pitch strike's the best pitch in baseball. So that was really important today.
And pitching depth, I think, is going to be so big as you get into the WPIAL playoffs, and now to have a solid 2 and get some of these efforts like you've gotten here over the last couple of weeks really has to build up your self-confidence and the team's confidence as well.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely builds confidence. Everyone gets hyped up after these type of games, especially me. I feel a lot better going into the playoffs, and I'm just excited for it.
Well, also, we have to mention to you that your Uncle Mookie was giving us a hassle throughout the game because we kept saying you had a perfect game. And I wanted to know if any of your teammates down in the dugout were being quiet, or did they say anything, or what happened?
No one said one word. They just let it play out. I guess that's a good thing, because if they would have said something, it probably would have went downhill.
Well, solid effort, Joe. Again, congratulations. We'll see you guys again tomorrow against Uniontown, and looking forward to the postseason as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Guys, Joe Chambers, perfect game for Laurel Highlands here today, and we're back with the final numbers. Mustangs a 10-0 win over Uniontown here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
I'm attorney Bill Martin of Radcliffe Law, and I've handled all sorts of workplace accident cases over the past 10 years. When you're hurt at work, your employer's main goal is to get you back to work, but you may not be physically ready to return. If you find yourself in a similar situation, call our workers' compensation team at Radcliffe Law at 724-439-3939. We'll meet with you and answer your questions at no cost. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
Hello, this is former Fayette County Treasurer Robert F. Bobby Danko. I am wholeheartedly supporting Deb Apicella, who is running for Fayette County Treasurer in the upcoming election. I hired Deb, and she worked her way through the ranks in the Treasurer's office. She gained over 15 years' experience and has been Fayette County Chief Deputy Treasurer for the past 8 years. Deb is doing an outstanding job. Her excellent work ethics has shown she does whatever is necessary to keep the office running efficiently, effectively, and customer-friendly. Deb Apicella's years of experience has proven she is trustworthy and dedicated to the taxpayers of Fayette County. Your vote and support for Deb will ensure the Treasurer's office will continue to operate smoothly, and she will continue to be a full-time, hard-working Fayette County Treasurer. We need to keep Deb Apicella in the Treasurer's office and make her our next Fayette County Treasurer.
Paid for by the candidate.
Patrick Livingston for your next North Union Township Supervisor. I was born, raised, and currently reside in North Union Township. I have the desire, skills, and experience to help North Union Township continue to thrive. I hold a valid commercial driver's license and the ability to operate equipment necessary to maintain and benefit township residents. My ability to work well with others to ensure a job well done bodes well for the township's success. I am asking for your support in the upcoming election.
Paid for by the candidate.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy East. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease up through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply while supplies last. Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231.
Brian Rozak and Gary Frankhauser back wrapping things up from Landman Field. Laurel Highlands a 10-0 win over Uniontown. Joe Chambers pitching a perfect game for the Mustangs, and Gary has your game recap.
Thank you, Brian. For the Mustangs, obviously the 10-run rule coming into play in the sixth inning. Caden Early 1 for 4 with an RBI. Joe Chambers, in addition to his stellar pitching performance, was on base 2 out of 4 times and did have an RBI. Nick Kumar, 3 for 3, single, double, and a triple, and walked his last time up. 3 for 3, 2 RBIs for Nick. Braden O'Brien, also 2 for 4, and he had 3 RBIs. Zach Koffler was 2 for 3, a couple RBIs. And the Mustangs finishing up with 10 runs on 10 hits. They did leave 6 men on base. 0 in the first. They went 0 in the second, 5 in the third, 0 in the fourth. 3 runs in the fifth, and the final 2 in the sixth inning. And then flipping a book over, looking at that perfect game, the Red Raiders just batting the minimum amount of batters, no runs, no hits, and they obviously didn't leave anyone on base. So 73 pitches through 6 innings for Joe Chambers. Outstanding effort.
We've said it a number of times, Gary, worth mentioning it again. A great 4-sport star. Joe Chambers, Laurel Highlands football quarterback, plays on the soccer team, plays basketball, and, of course, here playing baseball here for the Mustangs as well. I mean, somebody that can really do it all.
Outstanding, and such a great kid, too. He's just very modest and just goes out and plays the game hard. And his family and all his teammates should be very proud of that effort today.
Yeah, the Mustangs a 10-0 win over Uniontown. Back with one final word from Landman Field right after this here on WMBS, the Triple Live High School Sports Network, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Facebook Live.
Going on now at C. Harper Chevy East. Our customers can drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox for only $169 a month. Security deposit waived. Stop in for a test drive or visit CHarperChevyEast.com. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease up through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles yearly with $3,000 cash rate equity with lease loyalty or lease conquest. Security deposit waived. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Residency restrictions apply while supplies last. Sale ends June 1st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SprowlsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Back one final time from Landman Field. Laurel Highlands improving to 11-4 overall, 8-3 in conference play. Loss dropping Uniontown to 3-10 overall, 2-7 in the conference. 7th straight loss for the Uniontown Red Raiders. These two teams back at it again tomorrow at Bailey Park. 4 o'clock first pitch. We'll have it for you here on WMBS, the South Union Township Sports Network, and Facebook Live. Gary, a lot of fun here this afternoon. Anytime you see a perfect game and see the type of performance we saw from Joe Chambers here this afternoon, certainly fun to watch.
It sure was, and it was our pleasure to have the opportunity to broadcast this
for
game.
Sure.
And hopefully there was a lot of viewers and a lot of listeners throughout the country that got a chance to listen and watch Joe Chambers Twirl a gem.
Yep, I'm looking forward to seeing these two teams again in action again tomorrow. For Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay, this is Brian Morozek, and have yourselves a pleasant good evening. Pirates baseball on the way next on WMBS. Also have to thank Nick Barczyk back in our Uniontown Hospital, WVU Medicine Studios for producing the game today. Mustangs win it 10-0. So long, everybody, from Landman Field.
You've been listening to high school baseball here on WMBS on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
You do your close, Jerry? Tonight's game was brought to you as a joint cooperative venture featuring Township Supervisors Bob Schiffbauer, Rick Vernon, and Jason Scott, Atlantic Broadband, Armstrong Cable, and our friends at CUTV, including Gary Smith and his staff. The Laurel Highlands Mustangs a 10-0 win over the Uniontown Red Raiders here today. Again, for Gary Frankhauser and Jerry Dupay, this is Brian Morozek. Have yourselves a pleasant good evening. This has been a South Union Township Sports Network presentation.